Jamie's an idiot.
Son of a bitch. Anyway, well, hello everyone.
That's how we
live.
start.
Yeah, we just
going. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, right.
No. We're just going now. Like Jamie secretly hits the button.
You should put it over that one too, so you can hear us.
Don't tell him what to do.
Wow.
He's
Can
a
I not
guest.
hear you now?
No, you can hear me.
He's sitting
I
right
want to make sure. Good.
I feel like I'm not going to hear myself.
He doesn't.
I feel like I'm going to be screaming the whole time. So
I do it anyway.
He doesn't know yet that we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we're just,
It looks professional.
Well, anyway,
I've listened to this podcast a couple of times, guys. I think I'm ready for this.
well, everyone, thank you for joining us. We have a special guest, my friend, the Brazilian Yan Gomes.
Can you say that again? People don't believe I'm friends with you.
You are actually.
See,
I'm your friend because but I'm so happy you're here. Honestly, I don't care you're on podcast. I'm just happy you're here. And just now you're with the A's. You just get trade deadline. You got traded to the A's. Dropped bombs already. 3 bombs in 4 games. No big deal.
Every now and then you close your eyes and you run into
that's how I
something.
fight. So it works out well.
That's how I learned.
Well, yeah. So nicknamed the Yanimal. I still have my shirt. I should have put it on. I forgot to put it on. Dang it.
Only my wife calls me that.
Oh, sorry.
Does she have a shirt too?
My wife called
Only
me
a
pea
shirt.
shooter. Why does she call me pea shooter?
I think you know.
Term of endearment.
Shut up, John.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, John and Jamie are here too, but we're
cares about you guys.
fodder for this. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with me.
So you just made a joke about sometimes you close your eyes and just swing and hit the ball. I gotta ask this because you're playing baseball at the highest level. How hard is it to hit a pitch coming in that fast? I mean, are you?
Well, let's see. I'm sure everybody has heard. You succeed 3 out of 10 times, and you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So if you go out there and you fight 10 times, you win 3 of them.
You're cut.
You're cut.
Goodbye.
But I think the game has really developed. The guys are throwing even harder. It's almost the standard has been lowering, which is great for me.
Yeah.
So
you remember that?
I start looking like a better player now. So, it's been hard. It's a lot of guys play for a long time and don't make it. So I've been very fortunate to have such a long career.
Yeah, we when we were upstairs, I think you said you're in year 10 now.
Yes.
Wow, jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you got
a lot of white hair.
You got in same with me in the UFC. Well, by the same time, you started your career when I started my UFC career. Roughly I'm a little over 10 years now, right? Mm-hmm. I should know this. I don't.
That's okay. Yeah. You got the last time.
Oh yeah, I
kind of forgot a few.
Is this
things,
an open
man.
joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're pretty sensitive about it, you say it nicely, and that's some people.
Yeah, if somebody else said it to him, I'd fight him for him. But I get.
But he doesn't he doesn't add on to it. He just says, "Hey,
just that.
Hey, remember last time?
Yeah. But
we understand.
Only after you made fun of it. A lot of times.
Yes, and I bring it up. Yeah, I bring it up actually quite a bit. I mean, listen, I'm fine, right? We're good. We're right.
So I was actually, I was there when you guys met. It was when.
Oh yeah, UFC. Right?
We were down on the field and.
When you wore his Brazilian shirt. When I was fighting Brazilian.
Yeah, you were fighting a Brazilian, and he came out with his Brazilian shirt, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, that was a good day.
Well, it actually took you a long time.
On Twitter, yeah, I didn't realize until I saw a picture.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I came out of we were DMing each other, on Instagram or Twitter.
That's how you reach people nowadays. So,
way to do it, right?
Slid right into his DMs.
Dude,
I guess I slid into his.
Yes.
And he responded. So
quickly.
It was mutual.
There's no delay.
I was waiting for it. But yeah, and then sometime later, we exchanged numbers, and then I realized that he was wearing a Brazil shirt. I'm like, bro, really? He's like, bro, I know. I didn't know you were coming.
They kind of surprised me. I didn't even think of taking my shirt off, and then later on, we're looking at pictures, and we kind of tried to figure out was I taking a dig at him, hey, look, I'm all for JDS here, but I'll take a picture with you. I'm a big fan.
Oh, that's great.
It really wasn't. I had no intentions of that.
Where? Born and raised in Brazil. How long were you in Brazil for?
Yeah, I was born in São Paulo. Lived there till I was 12.
Okay.
Moved.
What's great is that you speak better English than I do, and I've been living here my whole life.
Remember, our jobs are a little different.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, I do take balls to the face. You take fists. So
Dude,
I guess
real quick,
yours
did
is
you
better
umpire
than
that?
mine.
One way to work that.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, no, that was a lob right there. I was waiting for it.
I was waiting for someone to jump in. I guess
I just met him.
this is
He's so
still
nervous right now. He doesn't know what to say.
this is still a PG show. We'll get this
No.
going later.
Couple more beers.
Don't know him well enough to make the balls of the face joke. No,
Well, here's your opening.
So you gave it to you.
I know.
You were obviously wearing one of the Brazil shirts at a fight or when you saw him, and you've always been an MMA fan, right?
Yes.
Like, so did that come from growing up in Brazil, or like did it happen as you were in the U.S. and kind of got following the sport a little bit more? Or
No, I actually started watching it back in like early '90s. I remember exactly where we were. We were spending New Year's in Rio, and my aunt's husband at the time brought out one of those VHS tapes of UFC 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
my first one was 2.
Gerard Gordeau fought the big heavy guy, and I remember exactly. He's that was when the Gracies. Obviously, there were big names in the UFC, and we were. I mean, they're like, this is a Brazilian man fighting show. I mean, might as well watch it. And my brother and I fell in love with it from day one, and ever since then, I've been a huge fan. I've watched almost every fight. And then when I got to meet you, that was kind of a super cool. And then we've been going to his fights a bunch and got to meet a lot of people and gone to some other fights.
When I won the title for the first time in Curitiba or whatever, and his wife sent my wife a video of me winning the title. It was the best thing ever. So I knocked him out, and Jan's like, "You won." Like he was like my same reaction too. I was like, "Oh my god, I won!"
Yours was a little bigger.
But he was like, "Holy crap, you won!" Like because it happened so suddenly. It was just so funny. I'm gonna cry a little bit too.
No, I think we were a couple years into knowing each other, and so every time which actually first fight I ever got to watch you fight, you went 5 rounds with JDS.
That was terrible,
and obviously didn't go your way. No. So I'm thinking, crap. I'm bad luck here now.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
I remember. I'm not 100% sure which one the next was, and then you won, obviously, and I was like, okay, so it's not me. So I think
we're that baseball mentality, man.
I think we're good now.
Yeah.
I think we're good now, and but yeah, I remember. So now I'm watching a sport that I've loved my whole life, and now I know someone.
You actually have an interest, yeah.
And I say this every time when people ask me. I get more nervous watching you fight or watch another buddy of mine, Scott Holtzman, fight.
Yep.
And way more nervous doing that than I ever got nervous like in the World Series in 19 or anything like that. I was more nervous doing that.
Well, remember we were talking upstairs about like the whole Boston fight when I fought Francis the first time and how nervous he was. I was like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "Hey." I was like,
I know.
I was like, all right, good times. And then you're sitting on the couch, dude. He looked like he got in trouble. He's like on the corner of the couch, like just sitting there, like didn't. Like, I'm like, dude.
I mean, I was telling you that night was a dream come true for me because I was getting to hang out with you right before the fight. I've always wanted to be there.
Real quick, I'm probably the worst person to hang out with before.
Well, I was going into that because I've always wanted to be. I'm very good. I'm not very good. I've always wanted to know about like the mentality behind guys doing things, and so now there's a we can elaborate on the story behind it, but I'm getting to hang out with him right before his fight. This is literally like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I think you probably walked out at 9:30, 10.
Yeah,
right to go to the arena, and I'm sitting there with him, and literally I felt like I was in timeout on the corner of a chair, and I have my phone with me, so I have to like wait because my wife and our friends are coming on a different flight, or they were somewhere in Boston with a friend of ours, and I just flew in from Cleveland, and so I got to see where they're at, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to touch my phone. I feel like I was doing something wrong if I was looking at my phone, and I'm literally like putting my phone like in the corner I was not very comfortable, which, I missed my moment right there. But, it was...
hence we're watching Super Troopers.
I know, and as Stipe was like,
that's the team.
spread out eagle on the couch watching Super Troopers.
Yep.
That's what I was going to ask. At what point do you get dialed in on like a fight night? Like
The minute I walk in the cage.
Really?
Yeah.
Like even when you're walking?
I'm walking out, I'm thinking like, God, this is terrible. Why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like, if people are like, you fucking suck. And I'm like, what I do to you, dude? Like, I'm here to fight. I'm going to put on a show for you, dude. And they do everything. And then, they grease me up, make sure I'm not like,
you give kindness your gum.
Yeah, I give kindness my gum, which he gets so mad about. But now it's superstition. And then the minute I walk out, I'm like, it's gotten better now with walking out. Because like before, for the past probably 8 fights, at some point before you walk out, we sit there. I don't know if people don't know this, but you're in the back and you're literally waiting for like a minute or 2 to 5 minutes of like the countdown, like the first person who walks out or whoever. And you're waiting. And when Kyle doesn't look, I fucking ball tap him so hard. And he goes down and they're like, all right, let's walk. I'm like, yes, I got him. And he's like, you motherfucker. Like, he gets so mad at me. And then, but when I walk out, I'm thinking like, God, dude, like, I could be a fireman. I could be doing something else. And people are telling me I bet I suck. I'm going to get knocked out. And then they do everything. So I get by the coaches. And the minute I walk in, I'm like, oh, it's still like surreal to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sitting, I'm like, holy shit, I'm fighting DC or holy shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
It's weird. But
no, you got your Starbucks coffee. I mean, come on, you got to give the Starbucks shout out here.
No, I can't. I have my own coffee. Stephen Myosic double caffeinated coffee.
Oh, sorry.
More Starbucks.
That's right,
More
baby.
Starbucks. More it. No more knockout bullshit.
What about you? Like, do you try and keep it?
We're going to cut that one out there.
We're going to cut that one out.
What about you? Do you try and keep it loose before baseball games, or do you get like dialed in, like if it's an important game, or where you got to be super focused, or
no? So there's a time in a game where you'll see us, or at least you'll see me kind of locking in. I'm about as relaxed as you could ever be. I like, for me, it's almost like I got to do it the opposite way. I got to like figure out ways to like get me going.
Yeah.
Because if not, I'm like, okay, let's go do this. Which it's nothing against anything with the sport or anything. It's just like Stipe just said. Even though it's a completely different sport. Whenever you're warming up in the bullpen, if you can't get yourself going, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like as you're like on the field now, you're behind the play. It's a big time game. If you still need something at that time to get going, then there's something wrong.
There's probably got to be some sort of other motivation.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to be as chill and relaxed as possible, which is kind of funny. We actually had Stipe in our clubhouse when I was in Cleveland.
Bullshit.
And it was almost, so he just made fun of me, and it's kind of funny because it was the same way, the other way. I'm like,
it was so awkward.
We're going into meetings and we're doing things, and I'm like, hey, Stipe, come on, man, like let come over here to hang out. And he's like, no. Like this is like a big old guy going, no, I don't want to.
I was terrified. Dude, he made me go in like the pitchers meeting, like for like the pitcher facing, and then they're like, oh, he goes to the outside of the line. I'm like, I'm gonna leave. I want to go. I want to go. I'm just not going for a while. I have no idea what I'm doing in here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was so
It'd be cool to see, though.
It was honestly, it was awesome.
That's a peek behind the curtain.
It was really, really cool. And then, like, I remember Bauer, when DC came into town, it was so awkward, right? So we're sitting hanging out, and Bauer walks over. He's like, hey, so when you two gonna fight? It was like the most awkward comment of all. I was like, really? Like, and we
right now you're gonna ask this?
Yeah, we weren't gonna fight. And DC's like, well, we ain't gonna fight. I'm like, cool. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, we're not gonna fight. And then sure enough,
that's exactly
6 months later we fought.
That's the biggest rivalry the UFC happens.
That's exactly
started by Bauer.
Yeah,
Son of a
that's
bitch.
exactly what he told us when he was leaving the fire station. Kenny had mentioned it. He's like, so when you think you're gonna come up to heavyweight, he's like, look at this dude. I'm never gonna fight him. Yeah.
Well,
and guess what? He made me go sleep once.
That's one question I do have because you
There was a nail.
You got poked in the eye and you fell. You were fine.
That is one question you mentioned. A look behind the curtain. Like, what kind of? I'm actually curious about this. Like, what kind of prep goes behind, like just a regular game? Like you said, pitchers meetings and other stuff. Like, how in depth are those scouting reports? I got to imagine baseball, which is hugely into analytics and stats and everything else. It's got to probably play into it.
Yeah, it's gotten bigger and bigger nowadays because there's numbers for everything. So for me, just to give you like a beginning of a series, right now we're going in to play Cleveland. I'll already have the scouting report being sent to me through all these kinds of apps on the phone, and I'll just kind of go over them. I'll go over all of them, make sure I'm at least up to date on how guys are doing now, how guys have been going for the last 10 days, and then so I'll show up tomorrow. Head to the ballpark at around 1:30 for the 7:00 game, and then that's when like a bunch of meetings will start. And it's really just like it's not anything like new. It's just mainly reiterating what
refresher.
Exactly, like what their philosophy is behind this, how guys are doing, how this guy's going to attack, and it's baseball is very big on everyone being on the same page. From a pitcher standpoint, and then I got to worry about another 7-8 guys in the bullpen. How they do against certain guys, so that will go through about a couple hours into being at the ballpark.
Jeez. I didn't realize it was that in depth, like every single day.
I think.
I was like, they just show up, they do batting practice, they hang out, and then they start. Yeah.
It's definitely a lot different for catchers, though. I mean, it's it's by far the most in-depth position. Like, you got to know your pitchers and who's, like he said, you have 7 or 8 guys in the bullpen. They all throw different shit. They all throw differently. Like, you have to know that. You have to know them inside and out.
Exactly.
Well, it's like you get a knuckleballer, you got to bring a different catcher in because that knuckleballer is like.
You ever catch a knuckleball?
No, but I've caught about as close to it. We've had guys that throw. About as similar to like a split finger, and that thing is dancing and doing whatever it wants to do. Yeah. And I mean, here in Cleveland, we had Carlos Carrasco, who threw about a 90+ mile an hour split finger. You had no idea where it was going, so you just had to. And guys were swinging. You guys were swinging at it, so you had to figure out a way to block it or get in the way.
Cookie's a hell of a pitcher.
Yeah, where's he at now?
It was with the New York Mets.
That's what it is. Can remember.
We got rid of everybody.
I know. It's what we usually do. Everyone that plays good with us.
So you went from how many years were you in Cleveland?
I was in Cleveland for 6 years.
Just 6. So do you know, like, when you left, how pissed off people were? Like, are you in tune to that kind of stuff? As a player,
how pissed off was I?
Well,
I'll tell you. I understand. The part of the business.
Yeah.
When I got traded, which it kind of makes it easier, but it's like it's easier, and then it's kind of like sad because you don't really get to say bye to everybody.
Yeah.
I got traded in the off season, sometime in November. So then it's like, oh, all right. So I got traded to Washington. Now I got to go to Washington and kind of restart our whole life again. Kind of go buy a house or get a house and stuff. So then Stipe and I would talk, and like, I'm not going back to Cleveland, man. Like,
so mad.
Like now we don't get to hang out like we used to, and I don't get to come over to the gym and hang out with them. So then it's kind of like you start realizing like those little moments of in Cleveland
means a lot. Thanks.
I'm just doing
Hope
this.
you saw it on camera.
It's just because I'm doing this.
I hate you so much.
No, and then it's tough. I mean, from the fan standpoint, I'm sure I wasn't the only one that they were, upset about.
Yep.
We had it was a very fortunate, and it was definitely, one of the coolest times of my career because it was like 6 or 7 of us that were together.
Yep.
The Goon Squad, babe.
Yeah, that Goon Squad ended quite early.
Yeah,
2 years in.
That's not a shirt though.
Yeah, no, it was. But that Goon Squad is it's a different story, and it was so much fun. That group, you're talking about Jason Giambi, a legend in this game. That you're getting.
He's so nice.
Yeah,
like he came up to me and he was like, "What's up, man?" I'm like,
"Wow, you're big."
I'm like, oh. Like I was like in shock. I was like, "Holy shit!" And then fucking, he's like, "I think I made you ask." That was autograph on the bat.
About right.
He's like, yeah, and he gave me actually the bat he hit a home run with the night before.
Oh no, shit.
There, yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
By the way, when did you put that up?
This week, because the general told me to. Because she says that the clean chaos in this room, so I had to make it look nicer.
The room looks great.
Thanks. Well, I put that one up now too. The other one the one you got me
from Andrew.
Yeah, from Andrew. So awesome. I would put that. I have no idea I'm going to do it, but I'll figure it out.
Good. So yeah, it pissed a lot of people off in Cleveland when you left, and they, this is what happens in Cleveland. But then you went to.
That's true.
We're pretty used to it by now. But then you go to Washington and you win a World Series. So
which not one team won a home game.
Also true. Yeah.
Sorry.
That whole World Series was. I'll tell you. From the 2016 World Series to that one, you kind of had an experience going into it. You knew the kind of stuff that went into it from the background standpoint. The media quadruples. Yeah. Now you barely have any room to do anything. So you know each out counts. So you're going into it already knowing that, and we didn't have an easy road going into it.
Right.
We're playing the heavyweights. We're playing the Dodgers, and then we go 5 games against the Dodgers. We were behind. Well, sorry, we played Milwaukee first in the wild card game. We're losing until the 7th inning, and then Juan Soto, one of the greatest players in the game right now, hits a ball against one of the best closers, and thank you to our grounds crew. It kicks the other way, and now we got a lead.
They got a raise too, by the way.
I was just going to say those guys got bonuses.
Oh, they got full shares. All of them got full shares. And then we go and play the heavyweights. We go 5 games against them, beat them there, and even though we swept the Cardinals, it was actually quite a stressful series. We had to battle throughout it. We had unbelievable performances by our pitchers, and then we ended up sweeping them, and it was a cool moment because now you're like, holy crap, we're really doing this. We're going to the World Series, and as many of you guys know, that whole season was an absolute mess for us.
Yep.
We were 19-31. I
remember that.
We were. I don't know exactly the percentages, but it was like
percentage doesn't matter because you guys won the World Series. That's all that matters.
Like at that point, we were about to talk about selling. We're literally, no offense to any of the other teams, but we were the same record as like the Tigers who in Baltimore who lost 100 games that season.
Right.
So we could have went that road, and we have some of the best players in the game. Now we have a ton of money in our staff, and we have a complete turnaround in our season, and next thing you know, we're the best second half team in the league. Get a chance to go to the playoffs.
One of the best second halves of all time, I think it was.
Yeah, we absolutely killed it. We still ended up finishing second.
Yeah,
to the race,
bastards.
But they would never let us get close.
They had a hell of a season that year.
They did. But now we go into Houston, and now you're like, holy crap. We're in the World Series. Like, this is really happening. Now we get, we go face, Verlander, Greinke, and we go into Houston, whoop the crap out of them there. Like, now we're like, oh my gosh, this Cinderella story is really happening. Yeah. This is like, we're going to do it at home. We're finally going to get to celebrate with all the guys at home. And then we played 3 games at home to get swept at home. And now we're like, we actually had, meetings in our clubhouse, like, guys, like, come on, man. And, obviously, the ending of it, but we beat some of their best. Actually, Garrett Cole was with that staff at the time. And we won the 2 games there. And it was, but if you knew the background of this team, we had the best time ever as a team. And that's awesome. That's how you usually hear about, it's not a single thing. It's not a single player. I'm sure, Stipe, from, your career.
It's all about me.
That's what I keep hearing. I was trying to change the subject. I was trying to change the persona behind you here.
I'm a selfish fuck.
A prima donna.
100%.
By the way,
give me another beer, please.
In that World Series, did you hear anybody banging on garbage cans?
No. Well, if I did, if they knew our signs, I would have been very surprised at them because I barely knew them.
Okay.
We were switching signs like constantly. Yeah. It was an algorithm for us to switch signs. But it wasn't really just because of the rumors we heard. We just knew that if we're going to cover every basis, we're going to do this. Yeah. And we kept switching.
How tough is that for a catcher? I mean, that's got to be.
It's tough if, like, you tell me right before the game. Like, right. Hey, bud, we're going to use 2+1, 3+1, 4+1, and then we're going to switch as we go. It's like, okay, wait, can we start this over? Like, where are we going again?
I'm not good at basic
We're playing a game today. We're playing a game today. Like, what's going on?
So, and I'm supposed to know what to call too. So as that goes, we kind of had worked into it, like learning how to use our signs and learning, how we wanted to switch them, which became easy. And when you're in that situation, it's probably the smartest I'll ever be because I don't know what was happening, but it was like tunnel vision during the whole World Series, and the signs were, I had them down, You know, you tell me to put him down right now, I'll probably screw him up.
It's like when I was texting my wife trying to get her pregnant. Tunnel vision. One mission.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Small tunnel.
It's terrible. Just trying to scrape sides, guys. Just trying to scrape sides. So, but real quick. So, I remember one time. I don't remember this. So the one time I was we were doing BP and I was playing, catching the ball with them, hanging out in the outfield, and I get one of the balls, and this dude goes, "Hey, hum it to the," because I can know I throw a baseball. I can throw it pretty, decently. He's like, "Just hum it to that kid, one of the bad boys." He's like catching the ball behind the fence. I freaking whizzed this thing. This kid had. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. That kid, dude, I felt. What'd you do? Oh, okay. So I was watching Pornhub earlier, and I like the noise.
But, not the visual, just the noise.
No, just noise.
So we're going to cut that part.
What is it called?
He'll leave that at.
No. What is it called?
No, ASMR.
The ASMR. That's all I wanted. I was like, ooh, yeah. No, but yeah, I literally hummed it. This kid had, it was like, I could have heard him probably. I mean, if he wasn't paying attention. That guy just can catch a ball and was paying attention, but.
Stipe ever tell you that he was like the best softball player ever because he played in the celebrity softball game during the All-Star festivities?
If
you want to know how good Stipe is at them, just ask him.
Yeah.
He's very humble in his own opinion. He'll let you know.
I feel like that's sarcasm right there. I did not say that. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I literally just asked you about, the teamwork that goes into it.
Oh, no, I'm selfish as fuck. There's no question. It's all about me.
So that there's a...
No,
Well, no, I was just going to say he made a point the year that they won the World Series about how they got to that halfway point, that trade deadline, and it was like, okay, like they could just do a fire sale and get rid of everybody. And it's baseball, I always think, is just one of those weird sports where like you kind of know what your team's thinking at that halfway point.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to unload everybody?
What's I do with my team during camp? But halfway through it, I'm thinking about a fire sale. Do I leave? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's always a decision for me.
I think it's a little bit different.
No, it is.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I always tell my fireman, I'm like, you're off payroll. Get out of here.
If you lose, you fire your coach kind of thing. Yeah.
It's usually Bobby because Bobby usually annoys me.
It's Bobby because you just pick on Bobby.
100%, and he takes like a man.
He does.
I give him that. You know Bobby, little guy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
little guy.
Yeah, so I destroy him. I literally just like he's my mule. I literally destroy him, and he just takes it.
Yet he comes over here and gives your daughter rides around.
Yeah,
he's the nicest guy.
He is amazing.
You're so mean to him.
I am mean to him, and he loves it. Yeah. But the problem is though is when he has a couple of beers, he gets a little ballsy, and he's like, and I'm like, oh.
I feel like the way you treat him, should be allowed to.
Yeah, it's
a
true.
little bit at least.
Yeah, no, I get it. But do you remember that one time you were coming back? You were
in band camp. The one time in band camp?
Yeah, I was terrible. That flute. That was a big flute.
Bad joke. Sorry.
I got it. You were coming back from injury, and maybe right after the Overeem fight. Yeah, it was right after the Overeem fight, and you got me the box seats and the ground floor. Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool. And then I was like,
I never stop asking for tickets to some bull.
I never asked. You offered, you son of a dude. Listen, now guess what?
Here's this guy again. Come to find
anyway,
out. I got all the tickets from him.
Him being a generous person that he is, I'm like, oh, cool, man. Great seeing you. Thanks so much for everything. We hung out for a little bit. I was like, we're going to go. He's like, oh, where are you going? I figured we were going. He's like, I'll just drop you off. So I'm like, cool. So it was me, my wife, and then another couple. Mm-hmm. And he's driving his big truck, right? And our one friend's in the back, and I look back, and he's like, huge smile, right? I go, hey, Yan, dude, let me tell you something. This kid has the biggest boner of all time. The look on his face was like perfect. Like he was like just disgust. And I was like, yes. Like
you can always count on Stipe to put someone on blast.
And then he was so embarrassed, dude. It was, but the best part was like how he just like played with it and just gave him this like dirtiest look of all time. And he came to me after. He's like, dude, why would you fucking do that, bro? Like, that's so fucked up. Like, why would you like throw me on the bus like that? I'm like, well, because you did.
It was perfect.
It was amazing.
It was perfect.
It was amazing.
Yes.
It was there to take, man.
If Stipe's not trying to embarrass you in front of other people, then he doesn't care
like
about
you.
you.
Yeah, exactly. I do not like you. It's 100% true.
It's 100% true.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like, so I was at the game too. Did we go to like the casino or something after that game?
No, we went downtown.
We were somewhere.
Did we go to Ford?
Maybe.
I dropped you guys off downtown somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
I said, hey, this is your mile ride. Get out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
No, you stop that right now. I said, you get home to your family. You're like, you're fine. It's 5 minutes away.
I strong-armed you, you know.
Yeah, you did. I got
so
scared.
People really know. I manhandled Stipe. I just said, hey, get out of my truck.
I got scared. I didn't know what he was going to do. Like, I mean, he's catching and shit, dude. They're crazy.
Yeah, we are. Sure.
I remember that game because that was the first time I ever met you, and that was forever.
Oh, real quick too. By the way, we all three of us went to the World Series game in Columbus. Remember we told you? Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to tell them the story, or you already told?
Which one?
When you go take a piss and
everybody
the world knows that. It was in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, I've got that picture saved somewhere.
But
my little butt.
No, when you gave him the tickets for behind the home plate thing on that lower level, I remember we were sitting there and everybody's hanging out, having a good time. End of the night, we look at the garbage can in the corner and it's just overflowing with beers. We're like, because this was right after you won. It was like, well, that's the kind of day we had.
Hey, might as well, man. Go enjoy yourself at a baseball game.
Great day. It was fun. How about the one day?
Our friend was yelling at Miguel Cabrera, like heckling him while he was in the batter's cage. Like,
I remember the one time I was at a game and I'm sitting there, I'm smashed and I'm sitting with my feet up having a good time. He gives me a text later. He's like, "Must be nice." Sitting there with your feet up, drinking a beer. I'm sitting here in 90-degree weather and the catcher's gear.
That's awesome.
In our family section, my wife and kids are sitting there. There's this guy with his feet up drinking beer.
I'm talking shit. I'm like, "Listen to that, you son of a bitch!" I was like screaming.
Oh, that's great.
I'm like that parent at the game.
Yeah,
100%.
Which, by the way, in all honesty, it was an absolute honor every time I got to get you guys to a game. Just because, and this goes out to Cleveland, the way they treated guys, especially every time you came out, they gave you a shout out.
I'd be like, "Yeah."
It was an absolute honor to kind of like showcase you out there, to the guys. Everyone absolutely loved it when you guys came into the clubhouse.
Yeah.
When they were at games, they absolutely, respected the crap out of you, obviously, for what you've done and who you are. And it's almost like when they got to meet you, it was like, holy crap, this guy's super normal.
He's just
normal.
Is, and every time, guys, when they ask me, I know Stipe, and oh man, how's that guy? I'm like, other than the big dickhead, he's.
Thank you. See? Jan gets me. He gets me.
This guy's, he is just like your normal dude, man.
So another story between us. So the one time I went down, we're down in the
camp.
Yeah, band camp in the clubhouse, and we're sitting there talking. I was like, "Hey, can I get an autographed bat?" He was so pissed. He was like, really,
this
dude?
is all you want?
I was like, really? And so then another time, I went down there. He whips out UFC gloves, and I was like,
"That's awesome."
Really?
Yeah.
Same face too, like I did. I was like, "God damn it! This is so embarrassing. Can you sign this?" Did you saw the jersey I gave you?
Oh yeah,
the one I won a title. The jersey I won a title in.
Are you serious?
The white one, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Which going back to when we first met, and this is kind of what people, I guess they. It was a match made in heaven.
It was.
It really
felt
was. As
they got closer
soft as
to
that sound, as weird it was.
No question. 100%.
I don't think you understood until we got to know how big of a fan I was of what you did in the UFC, and then I started to realize this guy is just as big of a fan of what I do
100%,
of baseball. So it was kind of
it was great, dude.
Oh man, and that's kind of how our friendship has just kind of been we're just friends.
Yeah.
They always say rock stars always want to be athletes always want to be rock stars, but in your guys' case, Stipe would have loved to have been a professional baseball player for sure.
100%.
Right?
I almost made it.
No.
And it sounds like
I'm the same. I took one punch to the face, and I'm like,
but yeah, that's the thing.
I struck out a guy throwing 75. Let's go. Seriously.
You got struck out by 75.
No, it was a joke. But
it was
softball. It was softball. I struck out. Thanks for bringing it up.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
John, did I ever tell you this?
It's softball.
No, I'm joking.
John, did I ever tell you the story about when Stipe came to play softball with us?
I got cut from myself.
I hit the ball straight up in the air. I was trying to hit a home run.
Stipe shows up to play ball with us. We're playing on this really short field, and I'm like, dude, just come on one swing. Just put it over the fence and show off a little bit.
I gave it all I got, dude.
He goes, I got you. He hit this ball so far straight up to the pitcher. I haven't seen a foul ball or a pop fly that high in my entire life in slow pitch softball.
Bro,
awesome.
If I would have hit it though, it wasn't coming down. I just missed it.
He missed it.
So pissed.
It was good.
No, it was not good. It was embarrassing.
It's a different game, man.
Is that when you were fat? When you played, right?
I still, dude. I'm
really
out of the softball game.
I did hear about that earlier.
Not terrible, but yeah.
I had a doubleheader last night, and I'm struggling today.
It's a mistake.
Are you really? Are you playing again? Right?
It was my first time playing in 2 years.
How'd you do?
Yeah, it did actually really, really well. But
not that Jan cares about my softball career, because no one does.
You'll be surprised.
So
speaking of which, I want to put up front. Hold on, no. Keep
we You got a bobblehead? Stipe's. I know. I think he's trying to get your bobblehead. I think there's gonna.
Oh, it is back there. Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, look who's here.
We gotta put him in the front.
Let's show.
There we go. Put him in the front. So
that's about right. That's kind of.
I retired.
No wonder my arm has been hurt.
It's my voodoo.
I got roped into a beer softball league for probably about 6 years, and then I was like, I'm going to start playing golf. I'm transitioning to that. So
which I've heard Stipe's playing golf now.
Oh, I'm trying to get him. Trying to get him on the train.
I'm playing. He's been out. I'm doing all right.
I've FaceTimed him a couple of times when he's out on the golf course. He's like, "Hey, watch this."
And it's like,
and it is about probably what he tried to do with that softball pitch.
Right, just trying to kill it. Yeah.
I got this.
This is a Rip Roast Stipe podcast. It's a great time.
We're having fun. Damn it!
Yeah.
I was following along.
I
with your
gave
story.
an opening and nobody jumped on it. So I guess we're just gonna keep staying with you.
I know you well enough now. I'm going to take that opportunity next time.
Oh wow, 20 minutes.
I followed your story.
Yeah. Jamie feels super comfortable right at home.
That's all it
I'm
took.
usually on minute one, and I'm story of my life.
I have to know you. I'll say something fucking awkward just to like break the ice. You know?
I usually have to be at the firehouse. If you're in the firehouse,
Oh, the
it's not a
firehouse.
problem.
You get your shit on it for sure.
Yeah. By the way, I was following your story the last time you were golfing, and you kept letting everybody's bags out.
Oh, dude.
Such a dick.
Oh, bro, it's great.
So wait, hold on. So if you
first 2 times, that would have been like, yeah, Steve.
yeah.
Third and
Best
fourth
part
time,
they were drinking,
I
I
would
was
have been
like,
like, okay, you're
stop it.
Well,
I wish I could beat you up.
He like sprayed us with beer. I was like, you son of a bitch.
So for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, Stipe, you were playing golf last weekend, and you're untying everybody's golf bags in the back of the
No,
car.
it's just one dude's.
As they drive away,
And
their
it's falling.
bags are falling out, which I think is hilarious. I did it to you, Jamie, when we played a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
However, I wouldn't do it on concrete. Like, 'cause they were pulling away their
No, it never went on concrete. No. It was
Sure
in
looked
grass.
like it.
I thought it was on the cart path the
whatever.
one time.
Okay, maybe it was.
He was like, I was having fun.
That's okay. They don't care.
It
But
was
talking about
funny.
that, so
I think it's
the one guy
hilarious.
we were with, he was putting the one day, and he has like this old putter, right? I'm like, dude, what sweet putter, douche? He's like, yeah, it's my dead grandpa's. I'm like, God damn it. Like, why do you guys say shit
That
like
backfired,
that?
huh?
Yeah, I'm like, I hate
He
fucking
actually,
hate-
his grandpa's alive. He just wanted to make you feel
No,
like
no,
shit.
no, dude, I thought he's such a douchebag. I was like, good one. Like, I have no comeback. I'm like, fuck her.
So you're more of like I gotta have my big time putter kind of guy. You gotta have your
No, I was just making fun of him because it was old. You know what I mean?
because
I do want to. I always got one actually.
If it's
remember the
mine.
golf outing? Remember we went to the golf show together, didn't we?
So you got a Scotty Cameron.
I don't know if we went to the golf show together.
I thought we did.
Did you try and putt for one and almost win one?
No.
Oh.
No, Stipe got a whole set of brand new clubs
Yeah.
from his good friend who's a PGA golfer.
Yeah, we talked about this.
yeah.
So is he.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah, we're just trying to get like high class friends.
Yeah.
So we can get free stuff.
Yeah.
my next
really
one's like a car, like a nice car. Someone wants
Every
to do
time I'm
shit.
looking over your head, I'm like, I need a new glove. Think you'll let me use that one? I'm just kidding.
It's got my name on it.
I know it does. It's a nice
Smells
glove.
Yeah, it's a good one. But it is what it is. But anyway, Dave, you guys been watching Olympics? They're done now.
Done. I watched a ton.
Me too. Actually, I did too.
I watched a
You
ton.
know what's weird is like it was great that they would play the old like events later on in the day, which is great. 'Cause,
Yes.
Like in the morning they were there early in the morning, and then later in the afternoon.
So we were in Nashville a couple of weeks
Did you
ago
watch them?
for.
I did. And
That was our every night when we got back to the hotel. Me and my son were just watching whatever we could watch. The coolest thing is you just like I can watch basketball and baseball and all that for sure, but like. Just give me the random. Give me water polo.
Right.
I want to watch a bunch of dudes try to down each other for an hour.
Craig took fifth.
I know. That's their
How about-
sport too.
And there'd be the team that. Oh, I'm so pissed right now. So pissed.
How about the synchronizing like gymnastic dancing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where they throw like the hula hoops up
throwing
in the
the
air?
The rhythmic dance.
Yeah.
It's like from old school.
Yeah.
From old school.
It was so funny because so I have 3 kids and my daughter, she's 7, and she would sit there and she was mesmerized. and
Shay
inside, and no dig to anyone that does rhythmic dancing, or I was like, kind of like, this is. I mean,
Like-
this
like
is kind of
speed walking.
funny,
It's
you
like
know.
speed
It's
walking.
which that's
There is a
that's-
speed walk.
I'm saying,
There's-
there's
there's
a guy that goes like
memes
this. Slow down. He wake.
I saw he put it right on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Such
just
a
so
strange-
funny seeing my daughter, like she was like mesmerized.
She was all in.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and even like you do the water synchronized water,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I mean,
Do they walk out like synchronized? They walk
did
out.
you see
so,
that
like,
half
video?
up the,
Yeah.
in the air?
They walk out and they're perfectly like
Yeah,
in
it's
sync.
unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway. So you're talking about that. My daughter, like, it was like she's about to go to bed. It's like 9:00 at night, and then the gymnastics comes on. I think Biles is on, and she's doing her. By the way, she's absolutely. So I saw a video like we're not seeing on TV, like someone's camera view. It's absolutely amazing. I was like, oh my God, how can a human being do that? Because I've seen other girls do stuff. Like what she did was absolutely amazing.
Even the worst Olympian will go and I'll be like, wow, that's crazy you can do that. And then you go up to like Simone Biles and the stuff that she does is...
Blows it away. So my daughter was watching this and she was so into it, right? Thank God we got that new bed that's massive because she starts rolling. I'm like, yo, wow, go, Jesus, watch out. You know what I mean? But she was so into it. I'm like, listen, I love you, girl. This will not be the sport for you. You're probably going to be close to like 5'11", 6 foot.
It's not going to be the size, right?
I love you. I mean, you're 96, almost 99 percentile of your height at this point. I'm like, not looking good.
You're not going
to. I love you though, but good try.
It's probably going to be something else.
Yeah.
We're going to try something
basketball.
Volleyball or basketball. Yeah, one of those two.
But wait, speaking of which, did you see that Gable Stevenson?
Yeah.
Mike, did you watch it? Dude, amazing.
I watched hardly zero Olympics, but I did watch the wrestling. So I did see
U.S.
They're best ever done, right?
They did really well. All five men's.
9 medals.
All 5 men's wrestlers all got medals.
Was unbelievable.
Oh, crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the last...
Dude, he's 21.
5 seconds, right?
14 seconds, he got 2 takedowns.
When the last one was the half a second left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the last one, it was like...
Mind-blowing. And the best part was when they do that, the challenge, and you see like it was a guy from Turkey, right?
Georgia.
And you see the Georgia coach is like looking up. He's like, oh! And his head just drops. You're like, yes. Like,
you have to. You have to.
Yo, there's no question.
You're like, I got to throw this challenge thing and see if he got it in time.
There's no question. But that was amazing because I was watching him. I'm like, man, the dude hasn't given up a point. He's up 4-0. And the dude from Jordan got on top, and he is an absolute beast on top. And he just rolls. I'm like, holy shit, he's losing 8-5. Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
All right. So here's a question for all 3 of you. Aside from wrestling, for you two, and baseball for you, aside from those sports, what's your favorite sport in the Olympics to watch?
Summer or winter?
Let's go.
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's go summer.
All right.
We just had the summer. What's your favorite summer Olympic sport?
This year, it was kayaking.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
Really?
I didn't even know that wasn't.
It was either like the almost like the whitewater rafting, where they were like, because if you ever try to kayak,
yes,
terrible.
It's next to
you are not doing anything like that.
Right. Or
the speed racing. Did you do the speed kayak racing? Or
I guess that one.
I don't think I'm saying the name right, but it just. Like, I mean, these people are absolutely.
Their backs are like.
I mean, they're going exactly, dude. And I live on the water in Tennessee, and I have a kayak, I have a canoe, and I guess it's just canoe racing.
Bro, dude. Anyway, real quick, don't interrupt. This dude, after one of the seasons, I'm like, dude, how you feeling, dude? He's like, oh, I'm just chilling. He takes a picture where he's at on his right in front of this pond. I'm like. I posed must be nice. Like I was so pissed. But anyway, go back. I was so pissed.
I mean, to follow you up on that, I've been saying this to several guys that had just met me for the first time on this team. I'm probably the most confusing person you'll ever meet. I was born in Brazil. I moved to Miami, and I live in Tennessee.
You're country, bro.
I'm a country boy from Tennessee now.
Yeah.
You're a country boy from Tennessee and Brazil.
I drive a big truck. It's very confusing.
Love it.
But no, I thought that. Those guys to what they were doing, it's just...
The kayaking is crazy, too, because they actually build that. Like, that's not like just a normal, they found somewhere over there to go. They actually build it. It's all concrete and water that they shuffle back in. So what about you? What's your sport in the Olympics?
That's a good one. I mean, not wrestling, of course, because I always watch wrestling, but... That's good. I'll come back to me on that one. Leave it down.
I would say, I don't know if it's my favorite sport, but one that if it's on for some reason, I'll watch it, and I could watch it for like 2 hours is swimming. Yep. Like I watched Ledecky.
Well, I
watched Ledecky. Who's that other Caleb Dressler?
The one girl from Homestead Falls one too.
The pole vaulter.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah, I know. I just fucking realized I fucking did that right when I said it. I was like,
thank you.
No, the pole vault. Jesus. Anyway, no,
he likes fingers in his butt. Some weird. We'll get into
probably swimming. Like I watched Ledecky's one race, and it was
the first 1,500 meters.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
She started that. And it's super hard, but...
How many times back and forth across the pool?
It's like
1,500 times.
Yeah. So I think it's like 50 times, right?
It's
50 meters.
30. It'd be 30. Wait, that's
it's 50 meters.
It's
50 meters. Is it not 50?
No, that's right.
No, you're right.
50
meters. 50 meters, 30 times. Yep.
Yeah. So it's back and forth across the pool 30 fucking times. There's
longer ones than that. There's one that was 50. So it's 50 laps down the back.
No, I think she just, like, this is the first time
down the back is
1,500. So it's 50, 100. We'll go all the way up.
Okay.
So 30.
Yeah, there 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the longest one.
Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was then. I thought there was a longer one, but you know what I got into was the only reason I got into it was the diving.
Oh yeah.
The only reason I got into diving was because I was watching it. There was a women's. And it was this 13-year-old girl from China was getting 10s. I'm like, what the? And
she broke the record.
Bro, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And so I was watching the American went and she had a good dive, right? And there's a little bit of water. Bro, this chick dove in and nothing moved. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
That is so. So we were watching that with our kids because our kids love diving into the water and we do all kinds of things. My daughter's like, hey, look at me do a backflip. I'm like, it's a front flip. You're going forward.
Jamie likes squatting at pools too. If you have a pool, he'll squat there.
Oh,
I like pools.
I mean, this is what you do, right?
That's my thing.
But watching those kids, it's a 13 or 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Which have you ever gotten on top of those pools?
Yes.
All the way
high
up.
dive.
I would never know.
You get up there, you're like, nah, I'm gonna go lower. And then you're like, nah, I'm gonna go lower.
Yeah.
They're doing backflips and diving head first.
Bro, they're standing up on their hands, bro. They're standing on their hands and taking their time.
Which I think is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And then it's like throwing a rock in the water.
Right.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. Just watching that girl, that's why I couldn't turn it off because I was so amazed. I was watching everyone else, of course. I want to see. My thing was I wanted to see how much water would come up. And it was just crazy.
Which apparently is the only thing we all care about. That's the only thing that I was thinking.
I don't know what else I'm looking at.
Oh, she fucked up. She fucked up.
I'm going to judge you on how much you splash.
One extra splash.
Listen,
I could do a needle dive from 1 foot up in the air, and I would do more splash than she did.
Yeah, there's no question. I could literally jump from a foot, and it'd be fucked. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It was honestly, it was mesmerizing because I was so into it because I was watching it and just watching that splash. That's all I cared about. They get a perfect 3.5 somersault backwards, blah, 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 to a dive, and all I care about was the splash. I didn't watch what they did. I just watched the splash. I'm like,
I could just imagine doing a handstand on the edge of that thing, and then you lose your balance, you kind of flail off, and just I'm gonna break my back. It's terrible. You hit the other diving board. It's just a train wreck.
You just bounce back and forth. And I'm sure they would not make a splash if they landed.
Yeah, right. I know there's no question. Yeah, that's 100% true. There's no. Yeah, they probably would do that. Look at.
That's how it used to be. Look at that.
That's 10
come
feet
a
off
long
the water.
way.
Yeah.
That's my dive right there, dude.
It's come a long
Swan
way.
dive.
It's crazy, right? And then
Who's the one that hit his head? You guys remember that?
Greg Louganis.
Greg Louganis. That's right. Yeah.
I mean,
you best.
Where the hell did you pull that one from?
Stay on top of that.
Who doesn't know that?
I couldn't have told you his name. I know who
also prefers men.
I know who he's talking about, but I did not know that name.
Not that quickly, at least.
Not that quickly. I would have gotten there, but yeah, that was good.
Well, there we
He
go.
remembers super random shit.
You know what I remember? Didn't Mario Lopez play him in a made-for-TV movie?
Did. Yes, good one, dude.
That's what
I
you
don't know
remember.
who that guy is, but I know
Eiffel
that
Tower.
Mario Lopez.
What?
That was like an Eiffel Tower.
That's you were right in the middle of it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Real quick, I remember I was watching a little bit. I couldn't watch the whole game, but that's all Team USA were. They were down 1-0, the 8th inning or the 9th inning actually against Japan or China for baseball.
Japan.
They win.
Japan won.
1-0.
Japan won the gold. I don't know what the final
Because it was 1-0, but
I will find out.
I did not watch
I just didn't know.
a single inning of baseball.
Oh, fair enough.
I just think it was coming on at a random time, and I didn't.
Yeah. No, I think it was on a random time.
I think I did watch
2-0.
early on a little bit of the softball because I think that was that on.
Did we win? Softball?
No, I think they lost to Japan as well.
Yeah, yeah, the U.S. men lost 2-0 in the gold medal game.
Which also the thing with the Olympics for me, it's what's so amazing is, and I'm trying to figure out how to word this, but if you finish second at something, I'm not very happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? But if you win silver or bronze, and you take home a silver or bronze medal, you're a legend.
Yeah.
Should be.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, which is great. Because I think there's so many guys that are like, oh, he was a silver medalist wrestler, or he was a silver medalist.
Never take it away from
this
you.
and that. Yeah. And that's what I think is so cool about the Olympics. You know, you work so hard for that one little split moment. And I think I saw one time there was some kind of race, and this girl false started.
Oh.
I was like, Oh my gosh, she just worked 4 years or however long for a full start,
and you're out.
And then I don't know what ended up happening, but I don't know if she was out or not.
Yeah, you get DQ'd.
One time,
start,
right?
You're DQ'd.
One time.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So that it kind of brings me to.
Did you see that one girl though that fell and got up and won the race?
She ended up winning. Yeah, that was a long distance race. It was somewhat long distance race.
Yeah, it was like a 5,000.
Yeah. So I forget which event I was watching. It was one of the relays, and which is one of my favorites. Is watching the short relays, like the 4x4 or 4x100. I forget what country it was, but they won bronze, and it was like their first medal for their country ever.
Yeah.
Dude, you'd have thought they won every gold medal in the Olympics. They were going so fucking crazy. It was so cool to see.
Yeah.
It was like stuff like that I love.
What you see in like every Olympics, you see someone, underdog come up and,
Speaking of that kayaking thing, so I remember I went to go train for 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks in San Diego. I was going to train Alliance with like Phil Davis and Joey Beltran. Right after I fought Joey Beltran, they brought me in. And so I was with one of my coaches, and he's kind of an awkward guy. So we get off the plane, and there's this chick, she's a pretty girl, she can tell she's in shape. And I was like, oh man, she's a pretty girl. This is before my wife, so I'm not getting in trouble there.
Sure.
So, and I hate it.
Sorry, Ryan.
So anyway, we're walking, and he's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, shut up. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, we're here. We're training here, blah, blah, for the kayaking, wherever it was. I don't know, the rowing team, whatever. I'm like, oh, that's sweet, cool, blah, blah. He's like, you guys should exchange numbers. I'm like, God dang it. Like shut
trying to set you up.
Dude. Like, dude, there's going nothing to do with me. Like, I wasn't even trying. Like, I'm like, just made it. That's all I remember. I was like, oh, man, so many. So
did you go kayaking with her?
No, she did. No, it was. I was like, I actually found her on Facebook. I literally was so embarrassed. I tell him like, listen, good luck with your future endeavors. Like, I don't like.
You try to slide into her DMs.
100%, no question. Yep. No, my Facebook DMs.
Is that the same thing?
IMs, yeah.
Let's talk about that same trip though. We went out to the bar to watch. They were watching one of the UFC fights, and this girl starts talking to me. I'm like, we're sort of just chopping it up. She's, we're just, flirting back and forth, just talking. He hit a condom and whips it at me and hits me in the chest, right? And falls right down the table between me and the girl, right? And the girl looks at me. She's like, oh, honey, you're not going to use that. You're not going to need that. I'm like,
he actually did that while you were talking?
I was talking, but I wasn't even like trying to get her number. We're just BSing, like just hitting it off. And he literally whooped this condom at me. He square in the chest. I don't get embarrassed much, bro. He embarrassed me twice in a week. I was so pissed.
I mean, anytime somebody throws a condom at anybody, that's embarrassing.
Listen, I don't use them, dude.
Maybe he just wanted you to use it with him.
Like the most forward icebreaker I've ever seen in my life. Right. So this is happening?
It's too big for me. Which this one was a Magnum? No, it's a regular condom. I need a smaller one.
Nice.
I had another question.
Yeah, please, by all means.
So we were talking.
He's like the Dr. Phil of the group.
I'm just trying to get.
I could do this all day.
Well, there's things as a fan of sports that I would be interested in that maybe the people listening would be interested. So professional athlete,
throw chop.
Professional athlete.
Don't come anywhere near that.
Professional athlete. You talked about like superstitious type stuff or superstitions or things you do. So I know baseball obviously has a lot of superstitions. A lot of players do when they play. So like, do you have any? And then same question for you, Stipe.
Mm-hmm. Superstition. This is like your way of going around it. No superstition, no. But I do have a set routine.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing with baseball, and I'm sure it could be very similar with fighting. You don't know exactly. Like we could have a rain delay or something's happening and you're like, oh no, I need to go eat this or I need to go double tap that. No, I ain't got no time for that. Like I do have a set routine before games and things that I want to warm up with. Maybe, if to relate it to superstition, I don't enjoy talking about numbers and things like that. Like, if I know if I'm doing good. Yeah. If I'm playing well, whether my numbers are showing or not, I don't really care to talk about it. I know if I'm representing it or not. Mm-hmm. But not anything very specific on a superstition standpoint.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, like usually the day before the fight, I like to have my wife get some high heels and just step on my balls and just get fired up.
Well, okay.
No, actually not at all.
Is she in heels?
Did not see that.
Stilettos. No, I mean, I do. I have superstitions. Like one thing I do Like actually, a few things, like routine. Like my routine is like I like to have sauce on Sunday before I leave. Usually leave on Monday, unless it's the flight's out of the country or I want to get there early. But on Monday, when I have sauce with the family, so the whole family comes over. My wife makes sauce, and then the day of the flight, I usually want to. I always have peppermint gum because it settles your stomach.
Yep.
And like I don't get as nervous as like I used to, but I still just
Yeah.
Because I had one fight, I was fighting actually Andre Arlovsky, and one of my coaches who brings the gum comes in with the gum, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck you doing? He's like, what? So you chew all the time? I'm like, I don't chew, but spearmint. Like, the fuck is that? He's like, shut up. I'm like, I don't. It's my coach Steve, the one you're terrified of.
No, I'm not scared of him.
Yeah, so he's like, dude, he literally had like a year's supply with him. I'm like, kind of, are you being serious? Like, dude, I do not chew this. And all the coaches are like, yeah, bro, he chews peppermint. He's like, son of a bitch. So he literally leaves the locker room, running around the whole arena looking for gum. I was fighting with Ortega at the time. And his coach was like, oh, I got peppermint gum. Oh, thanks, dude. So he gave me the whole pack. And so Kaiser comes back sweating his dick off after like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, dude, it's cool. I don't need your gum, bro. He got it for me, too, and I was like, I'm good. I like threw it on the ground.
Talk about high maintenance, huh?
I'm very
high maintenance.
You got
wow. I mean, I just feel like I should probably leave right now.
No, stay here and take it.
Emotionally, like, I'm not with this.
very specific. He's got probably like fancy French water he keeps in the locker room. Can't have tap water.
It's half bad on warm temperature.
That's in the hotel room
temperature.
too.
Yeah, and green M&Ms only. Green M&Ms.
You got what's another part of your routine? Team dinner.
Oh, a little team dinner. Yeah. Well, that's just
the night before the fight. After
he does it more than I do.
I've been to one team dinner. It's pretty
which
fun.
one was that?
When we were at that restaurant in Arlovsky.
Arlovsky. Giuseppe's.
That was after.
No, we went to Giuseppe's.
The night before.
No, we went to Giuseppe's.
Well, that's where we were. I don't know. We were at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It was the one in Vegas.
But the cool thing about that team dinner is, though, because we literally just talk shit the whole time. Like in Boston, actually, we went with kindness. It was like the first or second day we were there. The first time we were there, we went to dinner or whatever. And so he likes his bourbon, right, dude? And of course, the bourbon he gets is called Fighting Cock.
Well,
he tries to get it, and I grab the bill before he does. His thing is he always pays for the first dinner. So I always look for the most expensive restaurant with the most expensive everything. So because we charge to him, that's what he does.
Perfect.
I would never do that, but so I look down, I'm like, someone goes, "Who got him the Fighting Cock?" And I just fucking beeline right, and he's like, "God damn it!" And he's like. Dude, so ever since then, we always had a like text message trend of a picture with a circle with Fighting Cock. He's like, he's so mad, dude. I'm like, I knew that you knew. Like, I knew that you liked Fighting Cock. Like, I knew you loved the cock. It's okay.
There you go.
I'm okay with it. Like, I don't judge.
He'll take Fighting Cock. He'll take Lazy Cock. He'll take Big Cock, Little Cock. He'll take all the cock. Yeah. Oh, this is John.
I'm not saying anything because he's going to see this, and I'm not. Can I tell a funny story from the first time in Arizona?
Yeah.
When I went to go watch you, whatever the result was, we came back. And then we went to dinner afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Or we went to this pizza place.
Oh, yeah. There was
and you, I think JDS poked your mouth.
Yeah, 16 stitches.
And I remember Ryan's feeding you pizza and you putting it in the side of your mouth. But we're talking about going out afterwards.
Oh, this is great, dude.
Let's go, dude. And then so it's me, Stipe, my wife, Ryan, and probably the rest of your group, and we go to this place, and there's dude, they got a table for us.
Well, the girl walked in, and she's like, I'm gonna take it over now. I felt so stupid because she's like, because I'm excited that Jan's there. I get to hang out.
It's a super humbling moment.
Oh, it's 100%. Well, no, because the girl walks in, she's like, hey, I got you guys come to our bar. I got a table. I'm like, hell yeah. So she gives the name of the bar, right? So we do our thing. We go to the bar. I go to the bar. I'm like, yo, where's the table? And the guy's like, the fuck you talking about? I'm like, where's this girl at?
Hey, literally, this is like a high school bar. It is thumping. My wife and I are looking at each other like
I just want to get a table, dude. It was not my scene. That's why I get a table. That's why I get a table. I was so mad, right?
We're sitting there.
Well, it turns out, so there's the names of the bars, right?
We don't got a place for you here, but
the bar was above us, not below us, and I thought it was below us, and so we went to the wrong bar.
Okay,
but we're literally walking in, and everyone kind of like, "Oh, dude, you're the guy that just fought tonight," and then Steve is like, hey, I got a table here, and the guy comes up and he's like,
hard ass, dude. He's like. The fuck?
It's like just
we don't have a table for you.
And
then I'm like,
It's
All right,
Well, we still got it. Well, I didn't realize. So we walked out in my drunken stupor. I looked up. I'm like, motherfucker, the bar was above us.
Did you figure it out?
Yes.
Did you get a table?
No, because we already bought one. My
chair.
wife bought
It was a chair.
bar. Yeah, it was actually in the bar. It was actually in the bathroom. It was actually a stall. But I was so embarrassed, dude. I was like, God dang it, like, because I was excited. He was there. I was like, sweet, let's hang out. I was like, I want to get drunk with him one time, just once. And nope, definitely not, because like I went to the wrong bar. Yeah.
It was like,
do you remember that Ryan was actually chewing her food and feeding it to me? Like a bird, like a baby bird.
I do remember that.
You're right next to us, and your face was like this.
Yeah, I guess I can get used to this.
You're like, wow, who the fuck?
I better start winning fights.
Yeah. Wow, dude, Jesus! I'm never coming on this podcast again. I'm fucking. All you guys are out.
Welcome anytime. Welcome anytime.
I mean, Jesus, no, but yeah, I remember that one time that me and I took John Volante. By the way, Volante thinks they're like best friends.
Okay,
right? Because like. He's
Second,
like,
come on.
Yeah, he's like, oh, dude.
I can just make fun of John way more than you.
Well, because he's easy to make fun of. First off, he's fat. He talks like this. He's like, this, guys, let's go to the game and we'll get some drinks after. We'll have a fucking great time.
I love you, John.
No, don't say that. He's a cracker baby. But he's got another baby on the way.
I love you.
No, don't say that. Anyway, so we're at the game the one time. It was right before my first DC fight. And so, it was a great time. So we went to the game. Got us tickets. We're hanging out. And Jan's walking into the dugout. And I'm like, yeah. We're like, Jan, I'm all. Yeah. I was screaming, dude. And all of a sudden, like, he never hears. All of a sudden, he's like,
making a scene.
It was awkward. And then we fucking loved it, dude. It was the best thing ever, dude. And then so we go to the game, whatever. And that was when the Cavs are playing the Raptors in like the Eastern Conference Finals, whatever. I think it was the year before we won it. Yeah. No, it was the year after we won it. And so we're sitting there. We go to the. You've been to the Jet Casino?
Yeah.
So we went to the top of the library, like the higher roller end, but I just go up there.
You got a table. You finally got your table.
No, fuck no. The drinks are cheap as fuck up there. So I'm fucking, having a good time. So anyway, it's like nuts to butts in there, dude. And like I'm trying to like make my way through, and the TV's up, and like I'm like in front of the TV, like because like it's not that high up, and this guy's like, "Hey, motherfucker, move!" I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying, dude. Like there's 1,000 people in here, and you like stood up like he was gonna do something." I'm like, what the fuck did you say? Bro, John Volante comes out of nowhere with his fucking fat hand and just pushes me down. And he like goes after this kid. I'm like, holy shit. So my loyalty motherfucker. That's why I love that dude. So we sit down and Ryan, she's 5 months pregnant. And she's like freaking out. Like, oh my God. I looked at her. I'm like, listen, nothing would happen to you. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you see that dude right there? I'm like, and you see me, he would have been through that glass, like fucking lights. Like he'd have been dead. Like it was just, it was the best feeling in the world. Because I've never seen John so pissed. Because like he's so happy-go-lucky, and he literally just shoved that kid out of the way, dude. It was awesome.
He is. He's a great guy. He kind of has all the wives liking him. Because he's a big Bravo guy.
Bro, not last time, though. My wife was pissed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's so
I just remember him and my wife, I had to kind of like, hey, what's going on? He was talking about Bravo TV shows.
Oh, dude.
And how he wanted to start his own Bravo channel. Mom's Meatballs or something.
And Mom drops a meatball for the girl that she likes. And they loved it. They loved the idea.
They were like so down for it.
And he didn't go with it. I'm like, John, dude.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
They loved it, right? So, yeah, it's like when I did Ultimate Fight, I brought him there as a coach, which he didn't coach. He just sat there and just watched it.
Because it was in Vegas, right?
Yeah, so he did his thing, whatever. But the one time, so Ryan would come every other week, a couple times like throughout the month and a half I was there, and she walked in, she was getting bigger. He's like, Jesus Christ, would you look at that ass? Look at them tits. I'm like, John, like, I don't care you talking about my wife like that. But I'm like,
who says that to like anybody?
Well, I don't like. I'm not even mad. Like, I wasn't even mad that he said it to her because like these.
You just know what's about to happen.
Yeah, it's like a family thing. But I'm like, John, like you can't be saying that in front of these young kids. Like they're like they can't know it's okay. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they don't know like how close we are. Like
they don't get the joke.
Yeah, they don't get it. Like, dude, he's like, listen, though, like look at that, look at that ass, though. Dude, this are huge. I'm like,
yes, it's my wife.
I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I see him every day, dude. It's cool. But I was like, dude, you can't be saying that in front of them. Look, he's like, oh, it's fine. They're off. They're good. They know. John, fucking, I can't, like, exactly. Well, Jamie, we're just ready to go. I can see Jamie's face.
It's past Jamie's bedtime.
By the way,
he turned off the recording.
Yeah,
a long time
not even
ago.
recording.
No, it's still recording. It's a lie. No.
You got him to look though.
Jamie's. Yeah, I did actually look. I'm not gonna lie. So actually, Jamie is a fire chief.
A fire chief.
How about he got hired, and a month later, the pandemic hit.
So that was fun, huh?
Good times.
My wife actually goes, "How do you think Jamie's going to do?" I'm like, "Out of all people in the world to be hired a chief, and a month later, pandemic hit, he'll figure it out." Like he's the only guy I would know it.
What was it that either you had to figure out, or what made it so hard, other than dealing with?
I mean, so look, you just look back on it, and it feels weird now, this late into 21. But in March of last year, it was there's a pandemic.
That's where everyone hit.
This is what it is. Yeah, this is what it is. It's going to kill a lot of fucking people, and first responders, firemen, EMS are going to be on the front lines for the next year. And go. Like there was no playbook. There was nobody for me to call. There was nobody for me to bounce it off of. Like we were all the fire chiefs and everywhere were going through it. Yeah, that we were going through it for the first time. So it was just stressful. I mean, aside from that, having the family, having to worry about that and all. So, but
good news is Jamie figured it out.
He's still alive, and he's still got the job.
Yeah. And he's
look at the positive.
He still hasn't figured out how to produce our podcast.
Yes.
But
there it is.
So he comes in every time we have someone on Zoom. He's like, "Oh, I got this," and then like 15 minutes later, we finally get it.
It should be the same fucking thing every time. I don't understand how it doesn't work. I mean, anyway, all right.
Technology's
on that note, before Jamie just turns.
You
want to take us out?
Yeah. Jan, let everyone know where they can find you on social media, Instagram, or anything like that.
If you want them to.
If you want them to find you.
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Yan Gomes, at Yan score, excuse me, A Gomes, and it's the same thing for Instagram.
What's your middle name?
A.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
No, I don't have a middle name. It's more of like a. I'm setting myself up here. You know, like the Latin names. It's like all like bunch of names. Mm-hmm. It's like all family names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't make fun. I can't like you just.
I feel like you're just holding back.
No, I mean it is kind of bougie. Okay.
What?
That's a nice
having a name.
A Gomes.
I don't think so. I don't think that's bougie.
It's like Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt. No, it's Joe Dirt. It's like we know it's Gomes, bro.
What's your middle name?
I don't have one.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Swear to God,
it's actually super bougie.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like he's trying to be shared.
Why am I giving myself two names? I have one because I'm selfish as fuck.
Why have a middle name when your first name nobody can get right?
I can't even say it right myself, so what the fuck?
You can't say much right.
Wow.
Has it gotten better at all?
What's that?
People knowing your name. Which obviously we're both not very blessed with easy names to pronounce.
You have to have the hardest 3-letter name for people for some reason.
I had my rookie year, and I'm sorry, you're trying to close.
No, we'll keep going, bro.
My rookie year, we're playing in Chicago, and I don't want to say they did it on purpose, but I had three at-bats or 4 at-bats, and they named me something different every at-bat.
That's fantastic.
It was like
great.
It was Yan Gomes.
Yan, oh my God.
It was Yan Gomes. And then you know what? They're like, maybe it's Yan Gomes.
It's Steve.
And they're like, oh. And then our PR guy probably like, no, it's Yan Gomes. Like, and now batting for the 4th time today. We're going to get this right. Yan Gomes.
That's awesome.
That's actually fantastic.
That is good.
Like,
that is good. And I think it's getting better with you for the most part.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember one story. It was after the JDS fight in Dallas. And the cool part was like we're all flying home together. You know?
Yeah.
So tell me how bougie I am. I get a first class ticket everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. Well, the one time you say I said I don't want my first class ticket, just get me and my coach all on whatever we can get. And they're like, oh, okay. So I actually saved them $7. So I got me and my 5 coaches all at Spirit, which sucked, but it was only a 2.5-hour flight, which I was okay with. So anyway, we're on our way home, and it was cool. The whole plane that was going back to Cleveland was from the fight. It was crazy, the whole fucking plane. So this girl walks up with her boyfriend.
UFC got a good deal on it.
They got a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
Well, they me some money too, so I didn't care. But we're walking to the airport, whatever, and I could barely walk because he fucked my shin up. And this girl walked up with her boyfriend. She's like, "Oh my God, Stipe, I'm such a big fan." And the best part was Ryan goes, "Oh, that's cute." I'm like, I just grabbed her hand. I'm like, "Shut your fucking face!" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just grabbed her. I'm like, "Don't you say any word." But I was just like, "Ugh." But it has gotten better. Like, but like I always talk on the show. Like, if I go to do an interview like on the radio. They're like, "Hey, Stipe, like, are you ready for your wrestling match? I mean, fighting match?" I'm like, "Say I've never done the due diligence and all that bullshit," and I just get so mad about it. That's one thing that really irritates me.
That's why radio sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do your homework, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is, dude. I mean, it's like you're talking about, like when you do your fucking shit for the game. Like you your apps, you study your shit. All right, this guy hates breaking balls, or
you hate being called Stipe.
Oh, fucking
Stipe.
I get called way worse at home. So, I mean,
don't we all?
My father-in-law still calls you Stipe.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is your deal? It's
so hard for some people.
Time.
Yeah.
My father-in-law calls me Stipe, so don't worry about it.
Oh, well,
I mean, he's like, "Hey, Stipe." I'm like,
maybe you got it wrong.
Maybe I did. I mean, cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag. Listen, I can't talk as it is, so maybe I ain't fucking it up.
Maybe.
Oh, jeez.
All right, John.
Take us out, babe.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Jan, thank you for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
So excited.
If you want to reach out to us, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at the.jebs.podcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Jebs Podcast. You can find Stipe Miocic on all social media platforms at Stipe Miocic. You can find Jamie at Mekalek, Mekalek. And you can find me at JP Chewbacca. It's like Chewbacca without the CA. Thanks for coming on, Jan. Really appreciate it. And so does Stipe. And I think this was the best interview we ever could have had with Yan Gomes.
There you go. So, look at that. Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
No, fuck that. He's going to shit kick on.
We'll just cut him out of Christmas cards this year.
That's right.
No, or come out of the show.
There you go. I've been fired like 5 times. So many times.
Dude, so
they're just going to keep going.
All right, they're out.
Just going to go.
Yeah, we're out. We hate Rick Russo.
We hate Rick Russo.
Yeah.